Good morning, y'all. Back again for my second live stream of the day. It's been busy around here at Parenting Aces. Lots of people to talk with. And I know y'all are expecting Ruben Herrera to be on with me. I am just waiting for him to get hooked up. I just resent him the link to join in the call. So Ruben, if you're watching this, check your email. I just sent you the link again to click and join us here. But in the meantime, for those of you who didn't catch my earlier conversation with Dewey this morning, our tennis takeaways with Lisa and Dewey, we had quite the conversation. I see Ruben. All right, Ruben, hang on. I'm going to bring you in. Hey.
Hi. Doing great. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Very, very well. Happy to be here, to be honest.
Yeah, happy to have you. Let me just finish saying, for those of you who missed this morning's Tennis Takeaways with Lisa and Dewey, you can catch that on our YouTube channel. So check that out. Dewey and I had quite the conversation after he had what turned out to be a massive heart attack on Saturday. Craziness. Yeah, and was home on Monday. I mean, anyway, lots going on in the world, lots of scary stuff. But let's talk about you, Ruben, and what you're doing in Germany. And we've got professional tennis being played and being televised. How did it go last weekend?
I'm doing well. I'm a bit tired, to be honest with you, after the last 3 weeks. It's been a lot of work for the whole team.
I'm sure.
But hey, we are over the moon. What am I going to tell you? We wanted to do something nice for our community. We wanted to do something nice for the players, and it exploded. It became something that we didn't even dream of, that we didn't even think about. And it was a great experience to be part of it, and the team did an amazing job. So that was the last few days. I'm a bit tired, but looking forward. I mean, it keeps on going. Tomorrow we start the next one. So
crazy. Okay, so tell us what you did this past weekend, and I want details, like where was it held, how many players, what format did you use, all of that. And spoiler alert, a former college tennis player won this past weekend. So yay for college tennis. And the ITA has social media campaign going on today to honor graduating college tennis seniors. So for those of you who have a kid that graduated from or would have graduated this spring or is I don't know, whatever's happening with college. But
we'll be graduating right now.
Yeah, so please check out the IPAs campaign. It's on Twitter and Instagram.
I saw it.
And we've posted about it here. Yeah. So, okay. So Ruben, tell us about your event and what you did and how you got it going.
Well, this is a crazy story. Lisa, like seriously, crazy story. We're a small tennis club in Germany. It's 5 indoors, 6 outdoors. It all
Where in Germany? Where in Germany? Where?
Herrera. It's
okay.
It's a city of 15,000 people.
Okay, small town.
A very small town. The closest to us is Koblenz with about 125, if I'm not mistaken. But we are about an hour away from Cologne and Frankfurt.
Okay, and just before you get into the details, how has your community been impacted by COVID-19, if at all?
Well, you can look at it 2 ways. Luckily, because our population is not that big in our state, Rheinland-Pfalz, there's not many cases. It has been very controlled, very, very, very minimum. Just one hospital has been really the one taking care of everyone in that sense. How has everyone been affected? Like everyone else, like quarantine, we couldn't go out, working from home. Businesses like ours got closed down, but not only ours, also hairdressers. The hospitality industry is suffering big time. They couldn't even, hotels, restaurants, like it's so sad. But on the other hand, Germany was fairly quick on responding and being proactive about this. So they were quite fast in locking everyone down, and people are extremely disciplined and they really follow the rules, and now is relaxing a little bit on the rules.
Okay.
I'm guessing it's about the same for you guys. That's how you guys also lived it, right?
I mean, it's crazy here. So I'm in Southern California, but also live in Atlanta part-time, and Georgia was the first state to open businesses back up. That happened on April 24th, and the businesses the governor chose to open are beyond what my mind can comprehend, because it was tattoo parlors, hair salons, nail salons, massage, things where it's next to impossible to practice social distancing. So I don't understand it. California has been a little bit more disciplined about it, though. As I shared this morning on my stream with Dewey, well, maybe I didn't share it. My neighbors across the street had a bunch of kids had a big party last night, teenagers. I don't know if they're high school, college. Big party, loud, going till at least 11 o'clock on a Tuesday night. Don't know where the adults were, if they were there and weren't there. There were definitely no masks. It is what it is. But back to what's happening in Germany and with your event. So y'all were on lockdown, quarantine. And so what changed that made you feel comfortable hosting a tennis event at your club?
Well, many things had to happen. Many things fell into place. We have been able to teach since March 17th. That's when we got officially closed down. And look, Lisa, it was really a matter of attitude and how we saw the whole situation. Most of the people panicked. Most of the people thought, oh my God, what's going on? What's happening? How the world is going down. That's pretty much the reaction everyone got. Mm-hmm. But there are a couple of things, I guess, that makes our team a bit different. I'm from Venezuela.
Okay.
So listen, if you think COVID-19 was crazy, growing up in Venezuela is crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm 38 now, and I've lived already 3 times in a coup d'etat. We have seen strikes for like months that go on. I've seen so many strange things that when I spoke to my team, I was like, guys, if COVID-19 is bad, it's horrible. Don't take me wrong. But if a good place to live this is in Venezuela, it's not. It's Germany. Like, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Then my other business partners also were like, listen, typical cliche. Opportunity means for some people complete crisis and go down, and for us it's like opportunity. So we were like, instead of going like, oh my God, let's sit down, we just got right away working. We were like, what can we do to help the community? What can we do to help tennis? What can we do to get going? To help other people. So we started, and it was like calling sponsors, calling partners, calling tennis players, calling everyone. And we understood quickly that we had a window of opportunity because we had the technology, play size, so we could go live quickly if we needed to. We had good players that were willing to play outside the 150, which was the people that were struggling the most, because you know how hard it is to make a living in the tour. Yep. And then one of the partners, Sports Radar, says like, okay, we can help with the content and try to sell the TV rights and stuff if you come to it. And what made then the key was Germany was really fast on updating what the rules and what kind of guidelines we were or needed to follow. So we were like reading the news like hourly, like checking what was happening and changing and what was the things. And then about 10 days ago, Germany goes and says, okay, professional athletes are allowed to train. So
across all sports?
No, tennis.
Tennis only. Okay.
Tennis only. And then at that moment, everybody else was like, oh, now we can start thinking about what we can do. Mm-hmm. We had already started 3 weeks before that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what it was. So then we were like, okay, so they can train. So we started writing the government, like the health ministerium, how do you call it? Like the government body that controls health,
Right.
and the government body that controls sports, and the mayor of the city, and everybody that was in charge of any kind of decision making. We started writing emails. We put a plan together. We put all the guidelines, all the safety, how we could do it. We partnered up with two companies that divided places, kept the disinfection, like divided the whole thing. We had to do redesign the whole club pretty much.
Okay. But you held the event on your indoor courts, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we had to rethink how it's about being creative, proactive, and looking at the details. Mm-hmm. So I can imagine this is going to happen now. Every single club that wants to do something like this will have to rethink the way the flow of the people walking in and out and living in this space area is going to be done. So we had to divide places. We have to mark so we keep the 1.5 meter distance. We had to divide so the players could have their own space. The staff had to move around and be able to walk around, have the mask, everywhere disinfection things, so like you can clean your hands or clean the surfaces. Everywhere, signage saying wash your hands, don't sneeze in your hands, like the whole thing. So by the time that happened, this is all new. So the government gave us a go. They were like, awesome, do it, it's fine. Profis can train already, so yeah, you're good to go. Professional players can do it. And then they go, no, you cannot do this.
Oh gosh.
And we were like, no, please. So it was going, and again, we are happy that it went that way, because you asked me, how do you know you're sure that you can do this?
Right.
Well, when you have someone controlling and making sure you take every step, and then you go and you recheck and you go again and no, we can do this now. And it was this back and forth. And it was new for the government. Of course, they're going to have.
Sure.
Yeah, of course. And it's actually, it's a good thing. People should understand that it's not like they making trouble. It's they making sure that the people are safe.
Right.
So when we saw it that way, we were like, hey, it's okay, no problem. So we went back and the details, and we look again, and it was like, look, professional players, athletes can already train. We will make this no fans, there's no one coming in and out, like only staff and players, done. We had to tell the players, forget your girlfriend, forget your coach, this is not going to happen, guys. But they took it really serious as well. So the players were really engaged, and they were really motivated, and they were looking forward to train as well. And play.
Players only, no coaches, no entourage, and no fans in the stands.
Exactly.
So it was back to basically like a junior tennis tournament where there's nobody watching. It's just the two of you on court competing.
Yes, and the referee.
And the referee.
Yes.
Okay, but ball kids or no?
No ball kids.
Okay.
And this was also another point. Touching the balls and giving back and forth and stuff like. Look, based on the research we got and the information we have, and we check on the DTV, which is the Deutsche Tennis, the USTA for Germany. That's
okay.
it. And they have no rules on it. The surface is not very it's gonna stay there very long, and and this is gonna happen. I'm pretty sure people will start thinking to play 2 sets of balls, mark them.
Yeah.
So one, but on the other hand, are you really gonna be focusing on playing tennis or just looking at the ball, changing, making sure it's yours? It was gonna be awkward. So since
you played, your surface was clay, right? You played on indoor clay.
We have indoor clay.
Okay.
So this is how it went, back and forth on the day of the event. The Ordnungsamt, which is the local police, came to the center.
Oh.
And we were like, oh God, here we go. We're gonna close that down. We thought we were fine.
Yeah.
But again, this is when you go, no, we did our homework. Welcome. Walk in, look what you have to look at, make sure that we don't relax.
Mm-hmm.
So they walk in, they control everything. They look up, down, the center. They look at we divided things, that we had a space, that we had disinfectants, that there was everything organized. So they were happy. It's okay. Then the next day they came again.
So you started Thursday. You started Thursday of last week.
We started Thursday, May 1st, yes.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. So they came back the next day. So
they came back on Friday and check again. And they didn't come again. But again, it's just one of those things that is good because, and this is what, Lisa, I can imagine is going to happen in junior tournaments or any event that we see from now on. Humans are creatures of habits, right? Once we get into something, but to create the habit, you cannot relax. You gotta stay consequent on doing what you're doing, right?
Yes,
so
absolutely.
It's great. So the moment that they come to us and check on us, it's like, okay, this is how we do it now, and you have to be alert, and you cannot relax, and you just keep on going what you're meant to be doing until you have it in you.
Mm-hmm. And what format was your tournament? I mean, I know it was singles only, but can you talk about how the scoring worked and side changes and how those were managed, and water Absolutely. And towels and all those things that we're concerned about?
Well, the first thing we did was speak to the players actually and try to understand what kind of format they would like to play.
And you had 8 players, is that correct?
8 players.
Yeah.
8 players. And this is something that we really put a lot of thought of. We're playing 4, so 2 out of 3 short sets up to 4.
Okay.
And if it's 3-all, we play a normal tiebreak.
Okay.
But again, and they played 2 matches every day. And it was a round robin. And on the last day, we looked at who was first, who was second, third, fourth, and so on. And then one play against 2, 3 play against 4, and so on.
Okay.
What is a good format? 2 reasons. Number one, the players are not ready to play 2 out of 3 sets like you see it on TV.
Not ready mentally, physically, both?
Both. They have not competed for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And people underestimate how hard that is on the body. So for the players, this was a better format to get back in shape and sort of get better rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
Number one. And number 2 was because you're having college players competing against professional players, this show format with no ad was able to make those switches in the momentum much more crazy than they normally are. So you see someone like Florian Broska, which is playing for Mississippi State at the moment, playing Yannick Hanfman, which is 140 in the world, and they played 4-3, 3-4, 4-3, and Yannick lost 10-8 on the third mini set, and it's like, then you see that it got intense. It was not it started as an exhibition. It got intense. The guys were like, okay, this is real. We gotta play each other now. So that's what's nice, which is amazing.
Right. So they weren't treating this as a normal exhibition where they're joking around and obviously there are no fans in the stands to mess with. And so they were taking this pretty seriously. This is a step for them to get back to full-blown competition.
Absolutely. And again.
And it was televised, I will say. So while there was no audience in the stands, this was televised on Tennis Channel.
Yes. And listen, they especially for the ones at the top, Dustin and Yannick, they don't want to lose to guys that they shouldn't be losing to. So they're trying, they're pushing, they need to.
Right.
And it's absolutely right. And the boys that are trying to get in rhythm and get into shape, that's what they are there for. They wanna practice, they wanna make the best out of it, and they wanna get in the best shape they can. Right. So that of course they have to take it seriously. It's not just again, obviously you can see that they are extremely happy and a bit more relaxed in the sense like you see them smiling and you see them trying things but they're pushing.
And it's not, this event isn't counting toward a ranking. Is it counting toward their UTR? Do you know if UTR is capturing these results?
UTR is a partner. So yes, it's a UTR event.
Okay.
So it's counting for the UTR ranking. Yes, of course it is.
Yeah. But not their ATP ranking.
Not ATP
or
points.
ITF.
Or ITF points. No.
Okay.
No.
And so, you go through these 4 days of competition. These guys are playing 2 matches a day. I suspect that the level increased as you got through the weekend, and I suspect what you'll see this coming weekend will be an even higher level. Assuming it's some of the same. Is it the same players or a different?
Now we changed it the idea is to help as many players as possible.
Okay.
So the first event was put fairly fast, fairly quick. Now instead of 8 players, we're gonna have 12 players.
Okay.
And we divide them into groups. So 8 and 8. Sorry. 6. Yeah.
6 and 6?
12 players, 6 and 6.
Okay.
Going crazy now.
Yeah.
And they played a round robin. And the best 2 gonna play the best 2 of the other group. The third and fourth are gonna play the third and fourth for the other group, and so forth.
So kind of like the year championships.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and again, we're bringing new players, new faces. The level is gonna be high. We have someone like Tim Putz, which is doubles players for the Davis Cup in Germany. We have a boy called Daniel Almaya, who is 200 something in the world, and Danny was injured and now he's coming back. So this format is great for him because it's short, but he's gonna have a lot of match playing. So it's gonna be great. We're really excited to see this.
And so what you're doing in Germany, UTR is actually going to be doing here in the States as well, down in Florida, starting next weekend, I think.
That's correct. If I read the news, I think it's next weekend.
Yeah. And so it's going to be a similar type of competition. No fans, players only. It will be televised on Tennis Channel as your event is being televised on Tennis Channel. And it is a real opportunity for these players to get back and get on the court and compete. But what's interesting is the event here, already 2 of the 4 players for the first weekend have had to be replaced because they're injured, which I'm kind of curious about. Like, how did they get injured? Or is this an injury that was, has been around since before COVID-19 struck? Or maybe they're just not psychologically ready to get back out and compete. So we don't know.
It's going to be a really interesting time for tennis until WTA, ATP Tour get back.
Yeah. Well, and junior competition too. I mean, the ITF has postponed everything or canceled. USTA, everything's shut down for now. Same in Germany, I assume. Everything's shut down.
Yeah. What we are going to be seeing is a lot of exhibitions popping up everywhere.
In the junior world as well as the professional world, you think?
This is where I think is going to be very, very interesting. And this is, again, is a window that is opening, and I think it's a great time actually for the tennis industry to reevaluate how we compete, what kind of competition are we offering to the market who wants to compete, and what kind of guidelines we provide and give so they do it in a safe way.
Yeah.
So
and I'm going to interrupt you one more time.
Go ahead.
I put a call out a couple days ago asking for parents to come forward whose children have been staying at home, who haven't been playing tennis, in the traditional way. Maybe they've been doing some of the tennis at home activities, but have now decided that, because restrictions are being lifted in their communities, that they're okay with their child returning to the practice court or the match court for play. And so far, nobody's stepped up to talk to me. I have, on the other hand, had parents step up and say, well, despite the fact that our courts were closed, we found a way and our kids been training and playing this whole time. They never stopped. And I have to, when I hear that, it makes me upset. But I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens in terms of these local exhibitions or competitions or whatever we're going to call them that start to happen in junior tennis. And you do junior coaching, right? I mean, you're not just about professional tennis and
no. We are at tennis school. That's our main. Right. Yes.
Right.
That's our bread and butter.
So, I mean, it is in your interest to have kids getting back on the court because this is how you make a living. And I'm curious to know what your thoughts are about how you're going to use what's happening with these professional exhibitions that you're hosting to get the juniors back in competitive tennis mode.
But this is, I guess this is almost like a case by case in probably even countries and then even stays within the countries.
Sure.
So I'll tell you what the reality for Germany is. In terms of coaching, only individual training is allowed.
One-on-one, one coach, one kid.
Coach, player, not even two players, one coach. That's not going to happen. Not at the moment anyway.
Okay.
So it's only individual lessons, player and coach. That's it. Which opens up many questions because it gets expensive.
Sure.
On one side. Then.
Well, it's expensive on both sides, right? Because as a coach, if you have 4 players on a court paying you versus just one, I mean, obviously you charge a little more for a private lesson than for a group lesson, but you're not charging 4 times as much. So as a coach, you're losing money if you can only have one person on the court. Yeah. And then on the player side, from the parent's pocketbook, to have to pay for private lessons as the only means of having your child get instruction, that adds up quickly too. So
really
it's a challenge on both sides. And let me just ask you, Ruben, because I published an article on Sunday, I guess, with just some ideas that I had about what parents can do to feel safe with their children returning to court. So, specific protocols and actions that can be done between, even hitting or having a lesson or returning to competition, whatever it is. What are you seeing or what are you hearing among your peers about the precautions that need to be put into place so that everybody feels safe, whether it's masks, whether it's hand washing, antibacterial lotion, whatever?
You can see it from many angles, but I'm telling you how my peers and I and we have done ourselves. I think the club has to first of all take responsibility, and when I said to you, rethink the way you use the space. We had to, and we made like a plan and we drew everything and we send this and share this to parents because we're allowed to do individual training already in Germany.
Right.
Only outdoors, not indoors, by the way, which is, I don't know, something we quite don't understand. But anyway, so we drew exactly, the coach is going to be on side B of the court. All the players will always be on side A. That's your bench. That's my bench. Mm-hmm. We forget high five, forget the contact. That's not going to happen. I think, and this is good for parents preparing their kids for the future. I think kids have to be much more independent, much more responsible, and parents have to explain this to the kids. We don't let parents come into the center anymore. So kids get dropped off at the entrance, disinfect your hands, come in, go straight to your court, do your warm-up, whatever you need to do. You play, and you go. So we don't have as many parents hanging out at the club, at the restaurant. None of that is going to happen, at least not until we take a wild guess, at least September.
Okay.
So we are already seeing habits. We have seen it. We took this idea from a kindergarten. when the kids walk into the center, they go straight and they wash their hands. Just because we know then we are safe, they are safe.
Right.
And these are the little things that I think coaches we have to pick the balls up. Yeah. The tubes. We mark them. Coach.
Only the coach picks up the balls.
No, we have to. So coach can pick the ball with his name, coach, and the player can do it. And when the player is done, the coach has disinfectant and then can clean the other one. But again, listen, these are the details that if I were a parent and I'm going to send my kid to a tennis club and play tennis, which is also something that is really important because it's not only I can't get sick, but it's also the mental part, the physical part. The kids need the activity, right?
Yeah. The parents need them to have an activity.
Exactly.
Get out.
but as a parent, I would be feeling comfortable and confident if I know that the club has put thought into how they are gonna do what they're gonna do. I wouldn't go completely crazy about it. I wouldn't panic about it because it's also not the right message. We don't want our children to grow up with fear.
Right.
But we have to be responsible. And I would appreciate if us as tennis coaches, tennis clubs, already take initiative and say, this is how we have the guidelines are in place, well communicated, social media, websites, emails. You can 1,000 times repeat the same message so everyone gets it. That as a parent, I would feel safe that my kid is good to go to that tennis club.
Yeah. And so you can only do private lessons right now. Are you hearing anything about competition opening up at the junior level?
Well, this is a discussion the Tennis Federation is having right now. Germany has the biggest tennis league in the world. The second one is Alta in Atlanta, actually.
Yeah. Yes.
Which is so much fun. I played it. I lived in Atlanta for about 3.5 years. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, Germany has the biggest
intense.
Yeah,
Alta
I know.
is intense.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun. Anyway, and Germany has the biggest league in the world, and they will make a decision in the next week, if I'm not mistaken, and they have a date already, 6th of June, to start the season. Now, this is going to be interesting.
Summer's big for Bundesliga. I mean, a lot of American, high-level juniors, American college players go to Germany in the summer to play this league, and it's a money league.
It's the place to be. You're earning money even. Depends on who you are, how good your ranking is, and how connections you have. But you could be even playing 4th, 5th league and still getting money. You'd be playing men's 40, men's 30 and get money.
Yeah.
It's really, really interesting. But this is the question we all have. People are allowed to only play singles, but the league has singles and doubles.
Mm-hmm.
So how is that going to work? Where and it's also the tradition in the German league. After the match, both teams sit together on a table and have a meal.
Right, just like Alta.
So you go, okay, but what about social distancing and how is that going to work? We're still not clear on this, and this is what I said to you: the tennis world has to rethink itself. I can see a lot more of UTR type events. People say, we're going to play. This is our official match. These are our results. And that's how we're keeping up with it.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine, and this is what I'm hoping for. Again, crisis means opportunities. And what I don't like, you know this story better than I do because this is what you do and you speak to parents all the time. Parents want the best for the kids, and I love that. They want to support tennis, but it's too result oriented. It's and it has to be structured. If a kid goes to play and is not 100% and intensity and not with the coach and everything, that doesn't count as training. And I'm but if you were to know how players develop themselves and how people learn. Actually, unstructured tennis is so important. Is when the kid
Wait, say that again. Say that again. Preach it from the mountaintop. Say it again.
So okay. So, dear parents, dear tennis community, structured tennis, really important. Trust me. Yes. That's where you want to make sure you get the results you want. But your kid will only learn and love the game when it's unstructured tennis. That means when he goes to a tennis court with his friends, nobody's judging, nobody cares, and he is trying and playing and trying again and looking silly and getting to learn the skills that somebody is trying to teach him. And unstructured tennis, structured tennis, I mean, we can talk about programs and stuff like that. We can put the hours, fitness, on court with coaches, mental training. We can put all hours and stuff like that. Unstructured tennis.
Dollars. Yes.
Anyway, but unstructured tennis, if your kid wants to play 50 hours of unstructured tennis, hey, let him be and don't judge him. Don't just let him be. Have fun with it. It's a game. Let him play it or let her play it. Anyway, what I'm hoping for is, because it's gonna get expensive only to do individual lessons, right, is that we go back a little bit like it used to be. Oh my God, what do I do now? I want to play tennis and I don't have this structured tennis and I got to go to piano lesson, to SNC, the fitness, and then this and that. It's like, oh, now you have to call your friend and say, hey, buddy, we're going to meet at 4 o'clock at the club, you and I, and we're going to play with each other. It's like, what? Like, this is unknown for these kids nowadays. It's like, this is how it goes.
Yeah,
it's like,
but it's how you grew up and it's how I grew up.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, but it's how we all grew up playing, right? I mean,
yes.
I can't remember. I had a handful of private lessons my entire junior career because that wasn't the norm, right? You didn't pay a coach to be only with you on a court. That was like, you know.
We can spend 5 hours talking about this.
Right, but the thing is as you said, crisis is opportunity. We have the chance now to reshape what junior tennis development looks like worldwide.
100%. And I hope people think about this.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's just as I said, like I'm gonna put in different examples. Let's say you want to learn a language. Yes, you go to your, I don't know, let's make it Spanish because that's what I speak. And you go to your lesson and you think you understand what the teacher was telling you, and you spoke your, hola, ¿qué tal? Mi nombre es Ruben, blah, blah, blah. Okay, good. But if you don't have a real reason to learn the language, and if you don't apply what you learn on that hour, outside the structure, and then you watch maybe TV, and then you make me speak to a friend and try to say a couple of sentences together, put them together. If you don't go and travel to Mexico, Costa Rica, Venezuela, where Spain, where the language is spoken, like, sorry, it's not going to happen.
Right.
And it's the same with piano, it's the same with languages, it's the same with anything you want to learn. It's understanding learning. I mean, of course, everybody would like to have a structured learning and in 3 weeks be fluent at it or good at it. It's not going to happen. It's like walking. We forget. I always say, when you were walking or learning how to walk, it was like you didn't walk right away. And there was no coach, please stand straight and this arm first and then the next one. And once, no. It was like you looked, you observed, you got a couple of tips. And then you were like, you fell and you got up and then you push and everyone was like, come on. Learning tennis is the same. It's like, hey, this is how you do it. You swing at it, contact points, you have an idea. Someone gives you instructions. Go try on your own. Make mistakes, thousands of them. Because every single time you practice the skill, you will get better at it. And once you sort of get a feel of it and somebody says, oh, you got a feel of it now, try this. And you go, oh, really? Oh, that's cool. And then you try, and you're going to be horrible at it at the beginning, normal. And then at some point it gets a bit better and then goes worse. and then gets really good.
Mm-hmm.
But parents somehow forgot that that's how they learn as well. Like, I don't know.
Well, I feel like this is the case across everything having to do with kids right now.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if it's sports, if it's the arts, even education, right?
Well,
I mean,
we're talking about education really here.
I have a daughter who makes her living as a math tutor, and she gets paid a lot of money to sit down one-on-one with somebody's kid to help them be better in math and understand it better. And she's really good at her job. But when I was growing up, there was no such thing as tutors, or if there were, they were for kids who, maybe, God forbid, had to be out for illness or, were hospitalized for some reason and needed that one-on-one. Now it's everywhere. We see it everywhere. So it's everything in our society, at least in the US, and that's why it's so interesting to talk to you in Germany and hear, what's the same and what's not. Everything's become about business and the almighty dollar or the euro or whatever form of,
you name it.
Yeah. As opposed to fostering a love for whatever the activity is, fostering that curiosity to learn, fostering that love and fun and, the social implications of being good at something and having the opportunity to be with others who are equally good or who push you to be better. These are all the factors that I feel like we now have the opportunity to bring back into junior tennis development and junior tennis competition. And so, I love talking with you, Ruben, because I feel like you really have a grasp of that. And there are a lot of coaches having these conversations right now. And there are a lot of tournament directors having these conversations right now. And thankfully, we've got organizations like UTR out there who have the kind of blueprint already in place. It's
they have a
there.
platform.
Yeah. And so let's try and figure out how to give sports back to our kids, how to reinstill that love of learning and that love of competition and that love of growth that we've just, I don't know, we've really gotten away from it. And it starts with the coaches and it starts with the parents. It's a two-pronged approach.
Well, this is, okay, two things mentioned on following the conversation. I actually am not, I'm sad that we're losing the competition a little bit, yes. But on the other hand, as I said, not really, because I think it's important. Everyone gets fixated on that number, my ranking, my UTR, and I'm like, listen, is that important? Is a goal? Do we want to have goals in life and say, hey, I would like to be one day, I don't know, number 50, and then I would like to be number 30, and I would like to progress and get better. 100%.
Yeah.
Like I'm a goal-oriented kid. I did not get good at this game just by saying, oh yeah, I would like to play. No. I'm not gonna take winning out of it. That's fine. But that conversation should be about, are you progressing? Are you learning the principles that are important and are gonna translate in other parts of your life? Are you enjoying the fact that you have to learn, work, do it again, be good and bad at it, and do it again? This is a conversation that I would love to hear more often.
Yeah.
That's on one side. And on the other side is like, get it back to it. Just play. It doesn't have to be a ranking. It doesn't have to be a number. It doesn't have to be, go play and try to beat your friend at your club or whoever it is. And that's good. Play the game and let that happen. because that's how kids are gonna get better. Because it's not being pushed from coaches, it's not being pushed from parents. It's coming from within, from that kid saying, I want to go on that court and play that game. And you're 100% right. If that, but I'm gonna the team, but parent, coach, player, that has to work like a Swiss watch. If that communication is not flowing in general very well, if everyone is not accountable and knowing the role in this team, it's very hard to develop healthy tennis players. It really is.
Yeah, agreed. Well, for those who are interested in catching this week's competition, can you tell us how to do that? How to find it?
Absolutely. This time, okay, I'll have to digress a little bit. The first event was televised by TV channel. This event won't be televised by the tennis channel, but the good news is we are taking it back to the roots, really. So if you go to playsite.com, it's going to be free. It's going to be available. Just log in, have an account, and you can watch as much tennis as you want. That's very easy. And if you don't find that, go to exo-tennis.com and all the links will be there, information, results, updates, and so forth. So pretty easy.
And so you've got 12 players this weekend.
Yes.
Can you give us some names?
Dustin and Yannick are coming back. Those are the best ranked players. As I said, Daniel Almayer is going to be taking part of the event as well. Tim Putz, which is a Davis Cup player, is going to be taking part of the event. Benny Hassam, Konstantin Schmidt, Jan-Mark Werner. Who am I thinking of? Yannick Bourne, which is actually, it's really interesting, the field, because we talk about college tennis.
Yeah.
And look, I play college tennis myself, my business partners as well. We love the idea. I think it's like the best thing ever after hot bread. And it's really interesting to see upcoming players with already established players, with players who were only professionals. And let's not forget, I mean, Yannick played college tennis himself.
Yeah.
Konstantin Schmidt played at Tulane, if I'm not mistaken, himself. Florian Brosco, as I said, played at Mississippi State. And Yannick played also somewhere in Mississippi, I would like to say.
Okay.
So I love it. I'm really excited to see how that's going to work out.
Yeah, no, it's fun. All right. Well, Ruben, thank you so much for the chat. And let's do this again. You have some brilliant insights. And it sounds, I say that because we're on the same page with a lot of stuff. So, of course, it's brilliant, right? But, I mean, I think it's so cool that you have taken the initiative to establish these exhibition matches, to give the players an opportunity to get on court, compete in an environment that is clean, that is safe, that is observing all of the recommendations that we're hearing come out of our medical community and scientific community. And also as a fan, to have an opportunity to watch live tennis is brilliant. So thank you for that. And yeah, best of luck moving forward.
Lisa, this has been a blast. I've been a fan of you, seriously. I've been following your community, what you've been doing. I think it's one of the best places for parents really to get informed. I mean it. We got this connection and you're like, Rube, let's do this again. And I'm like, of course we're going to do this again.
Yeah.
Because it really is important that we get this message out there and parents get a different view on what tennis could do for their children when they get into the tennis world. So absolutely, just let me know. I'll be here and we'll chat again.
Perfect. All right. Have a great day and best of luck this weekend. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.